So there is a growing issue that is plaguing the world of pop culture. And this is something that has to be addressed because if not, it will continue to spread like a cancer and destroy something really good and it's supposed to be something really welcoming to all. If you want to find out what that issue is, stay tuned for this episode. So what's happening, Podvengers? Welcome back to another episode of the Cinestro Core. It's your boy Blacksby, aka the Incel Eradicator. Today I have with me Batman is a fascist, Captain Woke, and Battinson is greater. No wait, I can't read.
Yeah.
Battinson greater than Batfleck. Yeah. Battinson greater than Batfleck.
Cap.
So today we're doing a little shift from our normal amazing works of art. There's something that we've been thinking about discussing for quite some time, and it's high time we tackle this major issue head on. But before we do that, we need y'all to Hulk smash that subscribe button so you do not miss out on the most entertaining podcast on the planet. Now, without further ado, let's get into it. So, as you can tell from the title of this episode and from the very serious and thought out introduction, we're discussing toxic fandoms, toxic influencers, and the issue with pop culture, the problem with pop culture. There's a certain level of toxicity that's been festering and building and just
better yet, kind of the toxicity that festers within pop
Mhm.
culture, fandoms,
within
right?
fandoms.
Not necessarily pop culture itself,
and it's
but
been
the fandoms.
progressively getting
And you know,
worse.
with this issue has been running on. It's running rampant. It's growing too long, and it's about time we just nip it, and just go straight at it and cut this off before it gets worse. And we've decided to go ahead and tackle all that in this bonus episode of our podcast. You know, excuse me. I know you've seen on everyone has seen on Twitter, you know, TikTok, any social media platform, Reddit, all types of just discussions or obscene statements, just stupidity, if you will, about name. There he goes again. He's gone. We'll get him back in a second. For our listeners, for our audio only listeners, AZ's feed cut off again. We're gonna bring him back. Don't worry, Frank, our tech guy Frank is working on it.
Frank.
He's on the grind. There we go.
Oh, Frank.
There we go.
Frank
Oh, they
coming
brought
in.
him back. They brought him back with him.
Cool.
A
Frank
bunch of
Frank
Snyderverse
came in
fans
clutch.
came in and beat me up. They tried to cut off my Wi-Fi.
He got jumped.
Frank came in clutch.
He got jumped by the Snyderverse fans, and they put Joss did better
It's
as
okay,
his
bro.
name.
They're only sixth graders. I could say it.
They're all malnourished. 12-year-olds.
Jesus.
Just Reddit mods,
Yeah.
smelling like Cheetos.
Make
and
him
pop.
touch grass,
grass.
please.
No, speaking of Snyderverse and just fandoms in general, we have one of our points is toxic fandoms, and that's not just limited to DC. That's every fandom. Every single fandom has a sect of people who are completely, you know, you can't reason with them. They don't think logically. They're only running around by their I guess prejudices and misogyny and racism and you name whatever is bigotry.
What I want to say is I just think it's so interesting how a lot of like these fandoms pride themselves on being like exclusionary when a lot of these stories that they're
Gatekeepers.
such big fans of
Yeah.
are about people who are on who are outcasts, who have lived their entire lives being othered and finally find their place in the world or in the universe and find a community and find acceptance and find like-minded people. And the fact that you're a fan of these stories that are inherently inclusive, right,
Welcoming.
and welcoming, right, and you go out of your way to be exclusionary, just seems so counterintuitive to me. And it's always kind of baffled me how adamant they are about being as exclusionary as they are. When it's like, dude, look at what you're a fan of. Look, pay attention to the story that's being told, right? Look at the themes and the ideas that the filmmaker or the writer or the whoever the creative person behind that original story was. Look at what they're trying to say, and look at your dumbass ideologies and how much they differ. Like you don't get it. And I just think that's such an interesting facet of kind of toxic fandoms and kind of their exclusionary nature.
It's just
And I think there's a difference between like not liking something versus just constantly having the same difference in the same thing over and over again. And you know, like you cannot like something. Everyone cannot like something and voice their opinion.
Yeah.
It's when you won't have the conversation with someone else that has a differing opinion.
Yeah.
And you're not willing to understand the other side of that.
Of course.
And I think that happens. It's been happening a lot. People are
because
just,
in fact, you can be hypercritical of a thing that you love, right? If anything,
Absolutely.
you should be, right?
We do it all the time.
Why, exactly. And it's like
Right.
as fans of those things, like you should be critical of it because you should hold it to a certain standard. But like you said, that doesn't mean not being willing to listen and to have
and let new people come in that like stuff like, say, Star Wars. You know, I'm a big hater on the sequels. I might even myself be a toxic sequel guy. In all honesty, I'm gonna admit to it. A lot of these people won't admit to that,
right.
But I'm also not allowing or not willing to have conversation with people that, you know, I'm a sequel or a original trilogy prequel guy, and I'm soloing out Star Wars here because the fandom is pretty bad and has been divided within Star Wars since the sequels, whether you like it or not.
Hell, since the prequels, man.
Allowing, but that is true.
The beginning.
And so it's funny because the beginning too, but prequel had the hate when it came out, just like the sequels did. Now everyone loves the prequels. You know, it's aged. It's almost like a cult following now. But it's the people that despise the sequels and will not let a younger generation of Star Wars fans who, like me, grew up with the prequel trilogy. That's my goat. All of those are like, that's my shit. I love the original trilogy, but some people love the sequel trilogy and they're being belittled or smited or shamed because they like something for liking something. And that point blank.
Something that an emotionally stunted man-child does not like. And it's like, dude, you had your chance. You grew up on the original trilogy.
You had your exactly.
You 36,
people our age had the prequel trilogy. Like that was our thing. We love it, and we're so fond of that prequel trilogy because we grew up on it, right? And there's kids who are younger than us, kids anywhere from 6 to 17 years old who grew up on the sequel trilogy, and they're gonna love it because, and it's like, and that's fine.
Yeah, even if you're
okay.
Yeah, you're entitled to your opinion, even if it's
wrong,
very stupid and very wrong. But,
no. See, opinions are okay when you can discuss something. When they're like that, you are not entitled to your opinion. You need to be complaining. You're complaining about movies that people are supposed to enjoy and have fun. You need to be complaining about taxes and mortgages. What the hell's wrong with you? Grow your ass up.
Unless it's Shazam 2.
That's the only one that you can hate on. Shazam 2 is fair game.
Or Black Adam.
Then what the fuck is wrong with
you? But it's like, it's, you know, like my thing is more like people who complain about like, oh, Star Wars is so fucking woke, bro. And it's like, dude, you know that George Lucas was talking about toppling a fascistic regime, right? Like he was talking
it
about
all
toppling
boils
fascism.
down to politics.
That's literally what.
That's the whole point.
They'll be like,
Star
take my
Wars.
politics, take your politics out of Star Wars.
To say this is it. He's like, this is exactly what I was trying to say. And people are like,
and everyone being equal.
And what's bothered me for years with like the more incel variety of Star Wars fans. Like, I love Star Wars. I got this bad boy. I got fucking this, right? I'm a big Star Wars guy. I enjoy me some Star Wars, right?
I dabble in it.
Graham's got his fingers there in the background. But
my goat right here.
But
shout out Hellgate.
It boggles my mind that in a fantasy sci-fi story about space wizards fighting each other with laser swords and aliens and all of this futuristic technology, people want to get mad when there are black or gays that exist in this universe.
Yeah.
Are you fucking dumb? Like, why is that a shock? Like,
there's an alien race called Mon Calamari.
The squid.
They're literally fish.
And the Quarrens.
But God forbid a gay person or a black person exists.
No shit.
Exactly.
Look at the hatred that John Boyega got from Star. He does not want to be in Star Wars ever again. And this is a phenomenal actor. This is a great guy, phenomenal actor who belongs in any project he can pick. Because I love him. Jar Jar. Ahmed Best, bro. He was bullied so much and just torn up by the fandom that he considered suicide.
He was suicidal.
Considered ending his life. And it was so good to see him back in Star Wars and The Mandalorian with as Kelleran Beck, because you know he deserves all his flowers, he deserves all the praise and support. He's genuinely a great guy, you know. Look at
Yeah.
Jake Lloyd, the baby Anakin.
I was about to say Jake
He
Lloyd
got
too.
bullied.
Hayden
He got
Christensen.
Hayden Christensen bullied. These are I can name on and on how many people were bullied by a fandom that's supposed to be praising these characters, praising these actors.
Fans.
You claim to be
By
you claim to be a
fans,
fan of this
exactly.
of this IP, a fan of this story, but you're over here telling somebody they should off themselves. Like, bro, if I find
Exactly.
you,
serious. It's not that serious.
It seems
And
more
can-
like these people are not necessarily fans of the universe and the world and the narrative that's being told. They're more so fans of the narrative they've cooked up in their heads, what they
Bingo.
want to see.
Thank you.
They're
Absolutely.
so high off
Absolutely.
of sniffing their own fucking farts that they do not
Absolutely.
understand.
And that's literally
good
where it
shit
all
is.
stems from, is that they're disappointed from the fact that whatever story we were telling, whatever movie you're watching, whatever show they're
Doesn't go
watching,
with their beliefs.
doesn't live up to their fucking fantasies of whatever world it is they're trying to exist in.
Exactly.
And they
Yeah.
get disappointed
People-
by it. Instead of just taking the
The
art
Moses-
that is being created at face value and be like, okay,
Mhm.
this is what the creatives have done. This is what it is, right?
Mhm.
And it's like,
the Moses Ingram thing, you know, you can not like a character.
Yeah.
Let's say Jar Jar. I grew up with it. I like Jar Jar. I
Right,
don't
sure.
like Reva as a character. I fucking love Moses Ingram and what she did, what she could do with that character. The character's actually a very intriguing character.
Sure.
Just don't think it was done right in the show.
right.
That's my
bad
opinion.
Bad writing.
And that's
yeah.
a valid
it's
critique.
When it's like what he said though, is because she happens to be this black woman who is a prominent character in a prominent IP, that, you know, and they snap and they show their true colors.
They
when
called
you,
her slurs.
all types of-
They were
Yeah, it's
commenting on her
awful
Instagram calling her slurs.
because she was playing a character in a TV show.
Real quick,
And
we'd like
she's
to
probably an amazing.
we'd like to
woman.
welcome
I don't really know much
Gerardo
about Moses
into the
Ingram,
show too. He was out fighting off the woke mob. I'm
leads by
kidding.
heresy.
I'm
Fighting
kidding.
with the woke mob.
He was fighting
leads
with
by
the
woke
woke
army.
mob.
With the woke mob.
His display name right now
Captain
is
Woke.
Woke
He's,
Warrior. But yeah, Graham, continue. You're saying about Moses, and I mean, dude, like, and it's not just limited to Star Wars. It's like Star Wars has all types of.
Right.
There's prominent.
Rings
There's
of
prominent
Power.
people. There's prominent
gonna bring up Rings of
people within
Power
the
because-
our community, the podcast and talk show type community, namely
yeah.
individuals like Star Wars Theory, who is afraid of bricks and screws.
Fuck that
Boo!
guy.
Gamers.
Fuck you
Geeks
fucking
and gamers.
pussy.
Like, bro,
Theorize about getting some bitches.
yeah.
You're
Like, what's
trash.
wrong with you?
They're
Why are
just
you-
they're just trash.
And like, it's the thing is, they see something like something that deviates from their quote unquote their perceived idea of like Star
Their
Wars
idea-
or
their-
whatever.
their perfect ideology. of
And
what
it like
is.
it's like their synapses stop firing, and they're like, "What do we do? I have to find a reason to hate this. Why are you mad about bricks and screws?
Right.
Andor was good as hell, bro. What's wrong with you?
Exactly.
Are you
yeah.
do you need a CAT scan? Like, what the fuck's wrong with you?
Coincidentally or not coincidentally, who was the lead of that show?
A Mexican?
It's a
No, wait.
brown. A
Wait,
brown
where's
Mexican
is he
man.
from Mexico?
And
Did I say that right?
indigenous man.
A Mexican man, yeah. Diego's Mexican.
Thank
yeah,
you.
Diego's Mexican. But it's like, so it's like, and it's like, even if you don't want, even if that wasn't the reason, it's like, dude, like, come on, are you serious? You're finding the smallest little thing to nitpick about a universally praised show. Right,
Exactly.
where Mexican man is the lead, and you're
Which
bitching
you
about
cannot like the
bricks
show,
and screws.
but that's where you get me when you come up with
brick
these
you
little
across the head, you can be
bullshit
screwed up.
excuses.
That's what's
Yeah.
gonna happen.
Exactly.
Right. It's where you show like what he obviously the people I'm saying it really was one guy who has a massive following, and he used to make great content back in the day. When,
Agreed.
you know,
Agreed.
I used to watch him.
Like Star Wars Theory used to be when I was in high school. I used to listen to that shit.
That's
when
the
I drove.
thing.
Like, that was
These are
the
people
guy.
we used to watch, and
And
now
then
you
you
just watch
start-
how they devolve into this caricature of their former self, just being hateful and shit. Like, I don't get it.
Which I mean, that's just comes with this day and age evolution. Social media has kind of, it's not ruined it, because it does let people show their true colors, which is a good thing to know, who's a piece of shit and who's not. But the conversation that
We're getting into that too. We're gonna tear that one up.
It's also kind of ramped up the toxicity and letting people have a platform,
Yeah.
or think they have a platform,
Because everybody
which-
has
I can
a
fix
platform
that.
now, in a sense, right? I get exactly what you're saying. It's like the fact that social media has kind of made hate and hate speech like that much more accessible, right? Because everybody has a Twitter, everybody has a Facebook, everybody has an Instagram, so anybody can spew racist,
you can't like something nowadays,
homophobic, transphobic bullshit, and liken it to whatever fandom you're a part of, and then you'll find you'll project, and you'll find a handful of people or large amounts of people who agree with you, and it's just it starts snowballing. It's a snowball effect, and here you go, all because these people probably would have never met each other in real life 40 years ago, right?
Because they would be outside having to touch grass.
Exactly.
Or being the same and being in their mom's basement on fucking talk boards or whatever it used to be called back in the early 2000s.
Forums.
Yeah, forums.
Fucking
but
AOL
one point I wanted to make
going
about
crazy.
racial characters being prominent leads or whatever. Rings of Power, when it came out, everyone was hyped up for that show. The trailer shows a black person as an elf. Everyone loses their
Black people
minds.
cannot be elves. Y'all know this.
Bro, what?
I had to
So
find...
you see how
Kaz
stupid
was
that sounds?
saying
You see how
it's a
stupid that
fantasy
sounds?
world.
That's
Why
fucking
isn't that,
dumb.
What?
Why is a
Where
black
do you...
person existing in a fictitious world out of the question?
Weird
You've got
to you.
goblins,
Why is that
you've
weird
got
to you?
orcs. Why?
Exactly.
And what?
Yeah, bro.
Dragons and
Why is
orcs.
he a dark elf? Like, shut up.
Yeah.
That makes no sense.
Listen to how this sounds. I can't believe a black elf exists in my world where griffins and hobbits and wizards and fucking orcs exist. That's
a damn flaming eye looking over a whole continent.
My favorite counter argument to this is for instance, when people announce that what is it Chloe or Haley that's the Little Mermaid?
Haley
Bailey.
No, Haley Bailey, right?
When people announce that she was
one
the
of
Little
the two,
Mermaid, right?
Yeah, she sang, bro. She can sing.
Mermaids. This was an argument that I genuinely had with somebody, right? And I don't even want to consider him a friend. This is a coworker at best, right? I was going back and forth, and not really arguing. It was more like talking to a fucking snail's shell, but like a discarded empty one.
Jesus.
So we're going back and forth about Hollywood agendas and shit, right? And he's like, you look at the Little Mermaid, bro. They made her black. Like, when have you ever seen a black mermaid? And I just said,
when have you seen a mermaid in general?
Have you seen a mermaid? Exactly.
The fuck?
When have you seen a mermaid? Like, mermaids aren't really dumbass. And I was like, exactly. Exactly. They're half fish, half people. Who's to say the top half of that is not a Negro? Like, what is wrong with you? What is wrong with you?
It don't make any sense.
Right now,
exactly.
Right.
There's no validity to that argument, and so many people have it.
That's
exactly.
Projection, right?
Don't understand.
You hate black people and people of color, so you're finding a stupid excuse to get upset about a little
fictional.
Movie.
Oh well, the legendary animated movie. She was white. That's what's made 30 years ago.
If you want to know the truth about the Little Mermaid, it was about a gay man's love for another man. So talk about what are you gonna say about that? I'm on fire today.
That it's wrong, and how dare they make it a
they're gonna be mad as hell. They're gonna be like, oh my god,
exactly
it's a gay man story. We can't have that. I should go outside and touch grass because I don't know what the fuck I'm talking. Get out of here, bro.
The alphabet mafia strikes.
Get out of here, bro.
They're out to get us. They're out to get us.
And
shoving
on the flip side of that same
and beauty down our throats. God damn it, I hate it.
Yeah.
They want us to treat humans like humans.
On the flip side of that coin of toxic fandoms, there's also the part of the fandom that just loves everything unilaterally and doesn't critically think and try and process and be like, this is not good. There's extremes on both ends. Sides. I'm only saying this because we've been consistently talking about different things within like the MCU, within DC, within whatever. This is gonna piss off a lot of people. Frankly, Frank and Lee, I don't give a shit. Okay, but it is what it is. I'm about to say something and make everybody mad. Y'all need to go outside and breathe some fresh air. It's okay to criticize something you like. That's the point. That's the fucking point of being a viewer, being a consumer. You cannot watch something. Look at the shows we've talked about. Moon Knight, Miss Marvel, She-Hulk.
I can. Maybe you can't, but I'm built different.
He said he built different. No, I mean, like, you can. It's okay to be like, this is good, but it can be better. This is not good. This needs to be changed. You can't just be like, oh, I love everything. Then you okay.
Yeah.
Then you love nothing.
That's like the people going into
Exactly.
into these DC films. The people who are slobbing on the Snyderverse knob, bro. I don't get it. Snyderverse is not good. Me personally, I didn't. I liked elements from it. I liked elements from it, but overall, I didn't like it because it felt like they didn't know where they're going. Everyone tries to tell me there's this grand vision that was supposed to happen, that was supposed to materialize.
See, even within us, like there's a split opinion. Like Grant, it likes the Snyder.
He's allowed to be wrong.
It's like he likes it, and there's things, and he's allowed exactly like you were saying earlier. No, but he's allowed to enjoy those things, right? But at the same time,
it's also
Graham
time to move on
criticize
from the Snyder Man.
But just like how you love those things and you admit that you love the Snyderverse and there's certain aspects of it that you really enjoy, you're also very quick to be like, there's some things that I don't like, and I understand why people don't like it. And I think that is what normal human beings, how they react. Absolutely. You know, you're like, hey, I love this thing, and I love it because for whatever reason it resonates with me. But I understand other people not liking it, and I understand that it's not perfect. And that is okay. That is
the issue is where
fight with you because we disagree.
Exactly, and the issue is where people are like, well, you might not like this one little thing. Okay, you don't like all of it. Screw you. You're fucking stupid. Your opinion doesn't matter. Blah 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 blah. Snyderverse is great. Suck my dick. Blah blah blah. I'm like, dude, I just said I didn't like that they ruined the Batman vs Superman storyline. They ruined the death of Superman. It felt cheap. Yeah, you're an idiot. Boy, like, all right, come on, see me with the hands, bro.
The way that I knew that in my heart of hearts that I didn't like the Snyderverse and never would is around the first time when the Snyderverse was like coming to fruition, when it came out with what was the first one? Man of Steel.
Man of Steel.
Man of Steel.
Yeah, I saw Man of Steel when I was 13. This was when I was like basically a child. I was like having absolutely no taste.
That's 10 years ago.
One of my favorite series of films was the Transformers ones, and I don't mean like the '80s ones. I genuinely like the Michael Bay ones.
The Bayverse,
right? So when I say that I had dog shit taste, I mean I had dog shit taste. So then a couple of years later, when I'm 16 and still have dog shit taste, and Batman v Superman comes out, and I see how they get all of these storylines that I really enjoy from the comics and translated them onto the screen in the same way where you get like 15 different languages on Google Translate until you get to English. It was just so fucking bad and so rushed. It was so cobbled together that I knew there was really no vision for that. And it boggles my mind that
but even if
but they can. They're entitled to their opinion.
You matured enough to the point where your sense of media
just like
literacy
me,
also got a lot better as you got older. And,
and
some people don't develop that skill, and that's fine, and that's okay. You know, like some people aren't as media literate as others, and there's nothing wrong.
An adult.
Really not. I stick to superhero shit and anime.
Sure, but that's the thing, and that's perfectly fine. But you don't get upset or angry or start disparaging other people and their opinions and their takes because they disagree with you or because they don't like what you
wound up.
Because you're a fucking competent, functioning human being who understands that art is subjective. And that people have differences of opinion and different takes, and that all it takes is to have a conversation, and that's all. Like why people get so wound up, man, because I don't like
defensive.
Because I don't like the movie about the fake dude alien who's make believe and flies around and blows shit up.
Exactly.
It's like there's serious shit to worry about in the world than about whether I like this fucking movie or not. You know,
I've been comics for nearly
Flash,
the
Justice League, Dark Apocalypse,
out there bullshit storylines that have ever hit the fucking page, right?
Steve probably witnessed New 52
before my time. Are fucking ridiculous.
He watched the DC Rebirth and New 52.
Exactly. It's not.
Mark Millar got an answer for his crimes, bro.
We don't talk about that, but yes,
the Ultimates. I was literally about to say the Ultimates. I was just about to say the Ultimates.
But
Miles
Morales.
But I've gotten to the point where like but comics have been such an intrinsic part of my life to where I've basically been able to. I used to be in that mindset of like, no, look, every comic book adaptation is good. Every single one is great. It's all cinema. It's all peak. It's all fantastic. I never wanted there to be any creative liberties taken with any of my source material. I wanted it to be exactly translated the same way it was, from screen to page, beat for beat. And that's all well and good, but then I started to realize, what is the point of me seeing the movie? It's basically the same thing.
I've already read it.
Exactly.
You've already read it.
Exactly. So
you've already seen it.
After it's what we talked about whenever we were covering The Last of Us.
Yes.
About
taking collective liberties.
Yeah. Exactly. If you want to play the original game, the game is right there for you to play.
Like
and if that's the story you want,
the original
go play it.
is always there at the end of the day. It's fine.
Exactly.
It is okay for things to deviate, and that's one of the main aspects of toxic fandom that I hate. When people get mad when they stray from the source material. Now, granted, there are some bad ways that it has been done. There are some terrible, horrid ways. For instance,
but dude, that's any fucking thing. It's almost like everything is nuanced.
Bad.
Banger.
Yeah, exactly.
Spawn.
Exactly. Spawn.
Banger.
Mario Bros. Movie, the original, fire.
With John Leguizamo.
Yeah. And Bob Hoskins.
Heat, baby.
What was that face? As you like Spawn?
No. I love Spawn. And I love the HBO animated series. I think
you
were talking about
the animated series I've been watching.
The
movie's ass.
The
movie's ass.
I know it is. It's still fun.
Also,
it's still fun.
I think it's
the animated series is top tier.
Also, I also think
it's still fun.
It's very like stupid to say this, but I think it's like it needs to be like mentioned. Like, it's okay if you like Marvel and DC.
No.
Yeah.
False.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like,
hey, and it's also okay. That James Gunn.
That is the next point on the list.
Yeah,
bro.
exactly.
You know, he doesn't have to.
We're gonna talk about that too.
Marvel,
but
exactly.
what Luis just said was the next point on the list, because that is one of my biggest gripes of all this shit that's been going on.
Comparison.
If you like DC, cool. If you like Marvel, cool. Why are you trying to force a war between Marvel and DC? You know how many artists jump from Marvel to DC to draw their comics?
For instance,
there's only like 5
working. You know how many of them do? Oh, shit.
Freelance.
Exactly.
He crafted the Ultimate Universe. You have Brian Michael Bendis.
Mark Millar.
The worst Superman in existence, but he went over.
Bendis get hate.
Bendis does get a lot of
Kirby.
hate.
Kirby.
Bendis has made a lot of dog shit, but he's
like
had
everyone.
Kirby literally went from.
But
Marvel
everyone's
to DC.
everyone's got dog shit though.
Yeah,
look
he's
at
like the big
Jonathan
Sean
Hickman
comics.
has some dog shit.
Yeah,
but that's he's the GOAT though for all his Avengers run.
I'm talking not even just the Avengers though. Fantastic Four and the new Secret Wars.
Who wrote
me and
X-Men?
Hickman?
Who's the really popular X-Men?
Brian Singer.
Freaking.
Popular X-Men, Chris Claremont.
No, the X-Men.
Chris Claremont.
Yes, Claremont.
Chris Claremont.
Mm-hmm.
He's responsible for
what did he do for DC though?
Dan Slott getting a lot of hate too on Reddit.
Yeah, absolutely.
But that's the thing. It's like guys.
They hate the fuck out of Dan Slott. I don't know why.
Dan Slott's a fucking.
That's right. Dan get the bad
He's kind of a weirdo though. He's kind of a weirdo. But what I was gonna say is that it's like what we like is comic books, right? So if you like comic books, you're gonna probably read comic books. It doesn't matter if it's Image Comics, if it's DC Comics, if it's Marvel Comics, if it's
Facts.
What's
Dark
Horse Comics. It doesn't matter. You like comics, you like that medium, you like that storytelling medium, so you're gonna consume those stories. If you like video games, you're gonna consume video games. It doesn't matter if it's PC,
exactly,
console,
manga, anime,
if handheld. It doesn't matter. Why are we gatekeeping how you consume a certain style of media?
It just doesn't make sense.
And I like the way that they're told, so I want to consume as much of it as possible. Why are you pitting
exactly?
Another,
and even I'll take a step further.
They're trying to keep us weak.
Exactly.
Yeah, trying to keep the working man down.
Ape together strong.
Ape together strong.
Strong.
You sound like the Star Wars fan, bro.
No, I'll take that point a step further too, and it's not just with the comics; it's across all mediums. They start comparing the MCU to the DCU. Granted, yes, we wanted to see something happen with the DC storyline, but that doesn't mean you can't enjoy both.
akin to
that doesn't mean you can't enjoy
Marvel's
both.
Cinematic
You don't have to
Universe,
pick
but
one and only watch one.
they can-
If you watch
yeah.
only Marvel movies your entire life and then watch a single thing else, what the hell are you doing? Like, go enjoy something. Go do something else. Enjoy something else.
He said that's
Go watch
right.
John Wick. Like, damn,
DC has-
go see something else. There's a movie theater with a
Facts.
million different movies
Facts.
playing on like 32 different screens. Pick one. Go watch some shit.
And the main thing that I feel like most people who are the types of members that we're talking about, the real toxic ones who don't like any deviations or changes or don't like a certain thing that is this, that, or the other in whatever medium or adaptation comes out, right? Those types of people, I need you to do me a favor and look me dead in the eye. All right, I'm talking to you specifically, viewer, that this applies to. Right,
they hate watching.
Crumbs off of your keyboard. Go ahead.
I doubt
down
that
the
listening to us
PT
this
on your
this
keyboard
long
because I
if
know
they
it's
were
stuck.
like that.
All right, let me tell you this. All right, realize that movies, when you go to them, other people are there, meaning that movie was not made specifically
Just for you.
That show was not made for you. If they made movies and TV shows catered to the taste of only one person instead of a group of people, a wider demographic,
you know how much porn there would be?
$5. Warner Bros would have like 13 cents and a Mike and Ike to make their whole cinematic universe. If they were operating like that.
Yeah.
They're made to cater to the broad people. And that's the thing that I need people to understand.
It's almost like this is all it's almost like these are all companies and they all have bottom lines and they need to make money.
Exactly. Like people complain about how the MCU has no direction currently. And I will say, those sentiments are somewhat valid.
It's iffy.
But
valid, absolutely.
Yeah. But the thing is, they're still trying to expand because the people that are going into these movies are not the same people that have been following them since 2008 when Iron Man dropped.
General audience type.
But that's a conversation that's been going around forever.
Exactly.
It's who are Marvel making these movies for? Are they making it for comic book readers? Are they making it for comic book fans? Or should they try to be as welcoming to people who don't read comics as possible? Because once you start making shows and movies that are all interconnected,
and on the flip side,
comic book storylines that already exist, if you're not a comic book reader, that can get to be a little bit tedious. And people oftentimes refer to it as homework. I don't want to do homework. I want to be entertained. I want to I want to
have to watch 28 movies to watch this one movie.
Exactly.
Which is why Iron Man 1 was so successful, because they made a comic book character for everybody. For people who who's never touched the comic book, they didn't even know who the fuck Iron Man was. They aren't like, you think if you knew who Iron Man was, you would honestly in the comics you hardly ever see him with his helmet off. So most people thought Iron Man was just a damn robot.
Yeah.
And then you give him character.
The MCU propelled him to a household name. I'm not gonna lie. It did boost him
Marvel.
up. I'm gonna take the same point on the opposite side of that. You got people going into, like, for example, Black Adam, Shazam. These are two characters that should be connected, right? So people were asking in the theater, like, why is he saying the same thing as Shazam? Why is Black Adam saying the same thing as Shazam? Why should Shazam say the same thing as Black Adam? There's discombobulation. But read the dictionary before we started this episode. No, for real, it's you gotta.
Yeah, it was good. That's AT.
What I'm saying, I'm out here. I'm studied up. I'm booked up.
Matthew the Encyclopedia Wahoo.
Webster. I went to college. I got my degree. I paid thousands of dollars.
He said I went to college, baby.
I had to remember them big words for my essays. But no, for real. You can't.
She called me the Webster the way I gave her this dictionary.
Ooh.
Yeah, boo this man.
Ooh. Oh, the soundboard broken.
Almost had him.
Come on, guys.
Not again.
That
was
good.
Going to sound off in like 10 minutes.
Guys. Come on. I know, right?
Yeah.
We're gonna be talking about
good points.
We're gonna be talking about inclusivity and spreading positivity, and the boo's gonna.
This guy stinks.
They're gonna be like, clip that. Clip that.
Speaking of I was just saying, making something for general audiences, because that's what you're supposed. It's a space for everyone. That's the thing about comics. Comics are a means of escape for some people. It's a world where you can imagine the most unbelievable things, see different characters, and you can see yourself in these different characters. That's what pisses me off about people with Spider-Man, and they get mad about Miles being Spider-Man. They're like, he's not Spider-Man. Spider-Man's black. Spider-Man can't be black. Shut the fuck up, Steve. Like, I'll beat your ass right now. Stan Lee said anyone can wear the mask. Anyone can wear the mask, and anyone can get these hands if you want to argue with that. So you better not.
X-Men is an allegory for
LGBT,
for marginalized groups,
oppressed minorities,
for marginalized groups, for oppressed minorities. Exactly, in the 1960s.
And that's why Magneto's the GOAT, because he has a very valid.
Magneto's not the villain.
Exactly.
Professor X is.
Bro, it's double handicap.
Magneto was right. This is a Magneto stand account.
But then you have people complaining about how woke X-Men is.
Been woke.
You know, if the X-Men, once they finally get included,
those are people they've never read the comics.
They don't understand.
It is intrinsic,
or they're not willing.
The X-Men, that they are politically motivated.
That's the only reason they're even a thing. That's the only reason they're even a thing.
Because Stan Lee.
It's not necessarily that they haven't looked into it. Or it's not that they haven't read the comics; it's that they don't want to look into it.
They choose to ignore it. They take it at face value and disregard everything else. But it's like, how are you going to tell me that a comic book written by a Jewish man, that's written by a Jewish man, who he specifically says is a stand-in for oppressed minorities in this country in the 1960s?
Yeah.
And you're going to sit there and tell me, oh, these comic books movies are too goddamn woke. And it's like, bro, they were writing it from to make a political statement. That's literally where they originated.
Wokeness has been happening since 1939 when the comics started getting made. They're woke.
Yeah, in 1960,
and even before Superman was out before. I'm just saying that this word woke has just started being a thing, and it's fucking blew up.
The way
whatever they're describing woke has always been.
It's a dog whistle.
It's a dog whistle. It's used by right wing media and right wing adjacent people to.
It's almost like
to
they
shit
just don't
on inclusivity and diversity. That's it. If you include or talk about anything that has to do with LGBTQ plus people, with people of color, or people with different religious and political ideologies than you, then it's woke.
Facts.
And if you get called out, for being a fucking bigot, then
it's the woke mob trying to cancel you.
You just see like the woke mob
canceled by the woke mob. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Because they won't let me be homophobic or whatever.
Like maybe 2 or 3 white people in this entire trailer, if we're not counting like background people and extras.
And one of them is a bad guy.
And this guy from RK Outpost, Ryan Kinno, he lost his fucking mind. Like, I got the video. We got you in 4K, dude. We got you in 4K.
Yeah. Is that the geeks? That's the Geeks and Gamers guy. He used to do. He's a meth head and used to sell meth.
And isn't he also a pedophile?
We got you, bro. We got you in 4K. Getting mad as shit.
He used to say he's a meth head.
Allegedly,
he's getting mad.
Legally, we don't actually mean this. It's all jokes. But also, fuck that guy.
And not alleged. I'm allegedly whoop that ass. Is what I'm
bro got so mad about this Blue Beetle trailer. A 2-minute trailer sent him off the edge, and he made a long tirade about how because I'm saying Batman's a fascist. I'm sick of this woke. And then somebody in the comments of another video was talking about, we're tired of these brown people taking our superheroes. I'm like, where is this coming from? Why are you so mad about a comic? Like,
they're tired of a Mexican American kid playing a Mexican American character named Jaime Reyes from El Paso, motherfucking Texas.
What?
That's crazy, bro. I've never met a white Anglo-Saxon named Jaime Reyes who's from El Paso, Texas. Whose parents are Mexican, whose grandparents are Mexican. It's fucking ridiculous. You can suck my Mexican dick, bitch, if it makes you so fucking mad.
I've got like an immense connection and passion to comics, right? And I will admit, there are times where I do come across as a little bit of a toxic comic book fan.
Not me. I'm chilling.
I slip a little. Now, granted, I don't get bigoted with it. I'm not weird. I'm not no Redditor, right? But I will say this:
4chan.
if you
QAnon.
if you are the type of person who wants to take a positive, creative, freedom-based medium like comics, full of all these fantastical elements, and then bring in your real-world hatred and use your justification of, oh, I'm just a comic book fan, or oh, I'm just a Star Wars fan, or oh, I'm just a fan of Instinct here, as a scapegoat for why you're just trying to voice your hatred and fucking bigoted ass beliefs. Get the fuck out of here. Genuinely,
you gotta say it with a New York accent. Get the fuck out of here.
Get
the fuck out of here.
And that's the point we were.
The fuck out of here.
Because that's the point we were making. That's the point we were making at the beginning of the podcast, where we were talking about how are you going to come into these spaces that were created by people who were oppressed and belong to marginalized groups, telling stories, because that's what art is. Art reflects the time, and art is a form of self-expression. Right, of building these spaces of inclusivity and diversity, and trying to welcome people from marginalized groups so they can feel safe. How are you going to then enter those spaces and then try to break down exactly what they are, what they were formed for, and what the whole purpose of them is? Like it's so like I said, it's counterintuitive. You're going to bring your bigoted ideas into a space created by people who belong to marginalized groups and complain about how these marginalized groups are now finally finding their voice and being seen and are safe and are being presented in positive lights. It's like in a positive light. It's fucking ridiculous.
And then
hey, I got a solution.
Simple.
Don't watch the fucking movie.
That's not a bad option.
Now watch something else.
Graham, they said Batman's a fascist.
They have to.
I gotta watch.
Are you kidding me? Hey, you also should. They also have come out and said that it shouldn't even matter. It should be no justification for making a fucking joke.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm like? I mean, the guy, from what we've all heard, is like the character is a schizophrenic. He's like a
conspiracy theorist.
Always on edge. Conspiracy theorist. Like a QAnon. Like he is probably
on the
thinking
extreme.
like Batman's doing this. Like, bro, that's funny. That's gonna be a funny character. It's a joke. Take a fucking joke.
Stop being fucking snowflakes.
You're telling me a character played
take
by
a joke, you bitch.
Yeah, that's right.
And also,
You're telling me a character played by George Lopez, a comedian, is making a joke in a movie he's in? That's fucking crazy.
And you're taking you know what? If the shoe fits, go ahead and fucking wear it, guy. Like that's
my other thing. Why are they going to war over these characters who don't exist, for one?
Exactly.
Two, over actors in movies that will never acknowledge their existence. Like,
hey,
you
but
are
just
going
like
so
Ad
hard.
said, there's the original material is there. If you want to watch a different Blue Beetle take, watch Young Justice, watch Batman Brave and the Bold. You know who you're gonna see most of the time? Jaime Reyes.
Fuck it, play Injustice.
Deal with it.
There you go.
Yeah, and you know it just there's no validity to it at all.
At all.
I'll never understand.
Because that's the thing. It's like people always take something that they don't like or disagree with and automatically go to like start spewing bigoted shit, bigoted idediologies. They start being homophobic, says,
putting it under the flag of
or racist,
being a comic fan, being a Star Wars fan, or being a Lord of the Rings fan. J.R.R. Tolkien actually never wrote in a black elf. He wrote that in the 1920s. Never even saw a black
person. Who fucking cares?
Exactly. If he saw one, he would have been like, "Oh,
probably not."
Like, what do you mean?
He was too busy having a homosexual relationship with C.S. Lewis. Of course, you couldn't write black people into his book. Shut the fuck up.
Is that a thing?
Bro. Him and C.S. Lewis were like best friends.
They were best inseparable friends.
Oh.
Is C.S. Lewis Narnia? Sorry for this.
Yeah, C.S. Lewis is Narnia. Yeah.
They were friends.
They were roommates.
They were friends. Yeah, they were friends.
In my head,
allegedly.
God forbid you get a fucking Afro-Latino elf, bro.
Can't do it. Can't be done.
I mean, what are they gonna do if, like, you know, their favorite voice actor for a CGI character turns out like, well, shit. I mean, I happened with Jar Jar, I guess. Never mind. That's prime example.
People are stupid, man. They hate Rings of Power because there's brown people. I hate it because it's dog shit. You know.
That's exactly.
Hate it for the right reason.
Exactly.
We're different. Yeah,
bingo.
Exactly.
I mean, Rings of Power is not a great show by any means. I wouldn't even say it's good.
It looks kind of cool sometimes.
But I'm not hating
That's about all I can
say.
Yeah.
When it switched over from Mordor, the Ashland or whatever, like that scene of it.
It's
when
like,
that was actually,
that was
what's the word? Not, I don't even want to say well made, but like the it's got good
production
production value. But
yeah.
there were some
most
parts of that. There were some.
Of all time.
I was about to say it was like $1 billion an episode, and
I mean, it's Amazon. That's like the change in their couch cushions.
Jeff Bezos was like, yes, here, fuck off.
Yeah.
He's like, I think I got a couple bill on me.
To write a mediocre show that looks good is literally all they did.
Yeah.
While I'm writing banger movies in my house for 30 cents and a pack of chewing gum.
The scripts,
James Gunn, get out
make
of this
it make
man.
sense.
And then lose
30
because
cents.
I have Alzheimer's.
100.
I had a concussion once. Something like that.
Times.
I was going somewhere with that, but I forgot.
I used to be an explorer once.
There's
an
this really good point on here.
Oh my god!
They talked about the next one. That I think, you have a lot of things to say, which is about the social media shitfluencers and their problematic creators.
We're gonna get into that. We're gonna pause that one for a second. We're gonna pivot to Mary Sue, and then we'll come back to that one because there's a lot that we're gonna talk about. Mary Sue and this dumbass, it's so stupid. This dumbass argument. Oh, she's a Mary Sue. You just say you don't like women. Just say you don't like women.
Mary Sue,
it's
bro.
it's
Shut
easy
the fuck
to say.
up.
Thank you, because if you want to call Ray a Mary Sue, then Luke's a Mary Sue, then this other person a Mary Sue.
Starkiller's the biggest Mary
Sue
of all time.
I don't give a fuck. He's the biggest Mary Sue.
Sam Witwer's already. Look, I love Grant. Yeah, that is true. That is true. And also, like, the creators of that game did say they designed it to be like a shonen anime, and it very much is because he pulls a fucking Star Destroyer out of the sky. So
out of the sky.
So yeah.
Hey, but it's
he's
one of my favorite
normal.
Star Wars
games
of all time.
Yeah, like,
but
the trilogy would be 30 minutes.
To get back to what, to get back to what Matt was saying is that's absolutely true. It's again, it's what we're saying. They excuse their bigoted ideologies and their hatred for marginalized groups under the guise of whatever fandom they're supporting. In this case, most specifically is Star Wars, right? And all the hate that Rey got because why? I mean,
I don't see it. Like, what is wrong with Rey? There's nothing wrong with Rey. She's cool.
If their concern was that Rey was a terribly written character, if that's what they think, then state that.
And at that point would have a lot more validity than saying, "Oh, she's too strong. She's only strong because she's a girl." That's stupid.
I wouldn't say that. I'm not. Right. I'm just not a big sequel guy, obviously, and I just kind of think Rey was
100%.
written for
just a Luke stand-in.
But they also just did,
everyone.
They also just it was that it was a rehashing of A New Hope. But I'm not hating on Daniel. Daisy Ridley.
Right.
I was about to say Daniel Day-Lewis.
Yeah,
Daniel Ridley.
Daisy Ridley did great. Like, of course. It honestly could have been a great character if 7 and 8 would have actually played out. She was great in episode 7.
Whoa.
Like,
I'm kidding.
John Boyega.
Bro said no Last Jedi slander.
Fuck Last Jedi.
No Last Jedi.
And everyone who likes it.
You absolutely right, man. I get what you're saying. That it has nothing to do with Daisy Ridley specifically. It's if you have.
But when that time came out, they were hating on the fact that Rey was the main character and that it wasn't John Boyega.
They were just mad that it was a female, a woman was in a position of power, in a position where she was the main character, and they said, "I see a woman in a position where she's a leader. I don't like it. I don't want it."
Hate it.
So I took the liberty of looking up what the definition of a Mary Sue is, and it is defined by dictionary.com as a fictional character, usually female, who is seen as too perfect and almost boring for their lack of flaws. The flaw in Rey, through my eyes, was just the dialogue and actions she was given. And that is not the character herself. That is the writers.
It's bad writing, bad directing.
It's the same principle with the prequels, which for some reason people are ready to just loin ride into the fucking sunset nowadays.
But
it's the material that they're having to work with.
If we want to use the term Mary Sue for Rey, then you got to use that for Anakin.
Exactly.
Because Anakin's excuse for being as powerful as he fucking is midichlorian count. Shut the fuck up and suck my dick.
The midichlorian powerhouse of the cell. Like,
and those.
He just like me, bro.
I love the prequel movies. they're not the greatest written films
No.
in the history of cinema.
Absolutely not.
Neither is the original trilogy. Luke
Stop
is strong
lying.
just because Luke is strong.
Revenge of the Sith is the greatest movie of all
Wait, hold on.
time.
Who insulted
Luke is strong
That
and
was a
powerful
banger,
just
but he
because
does nothing.
the Force and the universe dictates it so. Not because he's learned anything or because he is a true in heart or whatever. It's just because that's what
because
the
he
story
happens
needed.
to be the son of another powerful guy.
Exactly. And if y'all want to use the fucking term Mary Sue, then use it for the male characters that you guys
like
fucking
Star
love.
Killer.
And
Yeah,
Exactly.
Martin
when
Sue.
they're not even using the term correctly. They're complaining about writing and then bitching about the fact that it's a character's gender and sex.
They just see a powerful woman and they're like, I hate
intimidated
it.
by it.
I remember.
I hate women.
Hey.
That's basically what it sounds. To me, whenever I hear someone say Mary Sue, all I hear is I hate women.
All I hear is I've
All
never
I hear is
spoken to a
misogyny.
fucking
All I
woman
hear is-
before.
all I hear is my dick has been dry since the day I was born. That's all I hear.
Zero female
felt the touch of
interaction.
Wakes
Zero
up,
No
female
cooter to
interaction.
speak
That's all
of.
it sounds like. That mega mind meme. No
That's
bitches.
it.
That's all I
it
hear.
is. That's all it is.
Them niggas' moms don't even text them.
That's wild. That's a violation.
That was a violation of the Geneva Convention.
Insane.
Man. That was too far.
Insane violation.
They'll kill themselves.
Buddy committing war crimes on the podcast. We're gonna get hunted down by Interpol now.
It's just
no. It's just
Yeah.
so frustrating, bro. Like it doesn't. I and it's great. It's great that we're like normal guys, normal people that talk about these kind of things because like. I can't grasp hating a woman just for being a woman. I can't grasp hating a character just because it's a woman or it's a gay character or whatever. That doesn't make sense to me. People are people. Humans are humans. We are all human beings having this human experience on this earth. Why are you going around throwing your hate around, bro? Why?
for real.
Give me 5 reasons why your hate is valid. There's 0. I can give you 10 reasons why I'm gonna shut the hate up.
How are you an incel in high school? Did you try?
Yeah. You didn't even try? Like
Bro, you just started.
Bro, you did not even make it past the first level, bro. What the hell
failed
wrong
the
with you?
tutorial
Shout out
You know
song.
how hard it is. You know how hard it
He's
is
in the
being
prologue.
a nice guy. You know how hard it is being a nice guy. All girls want is a bad guy.
No, girls just want a man who showers. That's not you.
A normal
Sorry.
guy.
I'm
Yeah,
saying
bro.
It
That's
doesn't.
what
It
incels
doesn't
say,
drink
bro.
monsters
doesn't
and
quiz
punch
that-
holes.
For real.
Girls
Yeah,
want someone
Kyler.
who doesn't quiz them when they say
Kyler.
like Star Wars, you fucking nerd bitch.
For real.
Or
dude.
it's worse with the anime because we like a girl will be like a beautiful girl will be like, oh my gosh, I love anime. She'll start talking about Naruto
bro.
or whatever, and he's like, oh really? You like Naruto?
Bro,
you
I've
like
been-
Naruto?
okay.
I was about to say,
I got-
you only like Naruto. You've only watched Naruto.
I got a
What's real
small
anime?
tangent to go on for that anime one
too,
because since
me
we
too.
thought of this toxic episode, bro,
This is what I'm waiting
I've
on.
been
I'm
cooking.
waiting.
I've been cooking this. Let me tell.
Let me
Let
make
go
this
for
point.
it.
Let Luis
Go
make his
for
point
it.
real
Hit
quick.
this hoe. Hit this hoe. bro.
Y'all were gonna say he had mentioned like I saw this TikTok where it was this young lady and she was saying I think it's okay for people to like the thing that they like without having like to know the lore.
I
So
remember
for
this.
example, like if you had never seen Star
Yeah.
Wars before in your entire life and you're 26 years
That's
old,
what I was kind of
and you
saying with the
watch-
sequels
and
thing.
you watch Star Wars for the first time at 26, you're just like, oh, that was cool. I liked the characters and that story that was told that I just saw.
You're allowed
That
to
was
say
it. I
you
don't
like
know
it.
anything else about the sequels, the prequels, or anything. You're a fan. You're considered to be a fan because you like what you saw. You don't have to fucking have read the entire fucking Wikipedia
Exactly.
article of every fucking side character that has ever existed. Every
You don't have to know
planet
who
that,
Love
that
Shido
exists
is.
in the fucking universe.
Yeah, I mean,
Exactly. You don't have to know who Glub
Still.
Shido is
Yeah.
to know that, to consider yourself a fan.
If
Like,
you
Oh
don't
my
know,
God,
you're not a
you
real
didn't know
fan.
that was. You didn't know that was Zeb from Star Wars Rebels?
Exactly.
Shame,
Like-
shame,
Exactly.
shame.
It's
there's a spectrum to everything, right?
Exactly.
And there's a spectrum to fandom as well. Like you don't have to be a
Not beyond
fucking
that,
no
though.
life ass nerd
Exactly.
who to consider yourself a
saying.
fan. You can be a base level enjoyer of something and it be perfectly okay and not feel shamed for liking whatever it is that
they're coming in late.
Yeah,
that's like sports, bro. That's like sports. People who are like the stats. There's two people. There's a stats knower, and then there's a casual sports enjoyer.
I'm a
somewhere in
casual
the middle
sports
right
enjoyer,
now.
bro.
I'm an enjoyer, but also know some stats.
Why do I gotta know their names?
Damn right.
Exactly.
Getting paid enough.
My friends be talking about the game.
I love seeing a pile of dudes. Can I just not watch that? Sorry.
Don't make that face, motherfucker. You knew what you were saying. You knew that was planned.
Shit, did I say that? Sorry.
Did I
say that?
You said I said that out loud?
Bro says, I just want to see sweaty buff men hug. I don't understand why I have to know the UFC fighter's name. Why is that weird? Why is that weird?
What's the guy?
Are you telling me? You're telling me I'm the only guy who watches football and is like smash,
smash or pass.
And like,
that boy turned into the Hulk. That boy turned into the Hulk and said one word.
Yeah, exactly. That's it.
It's just
okay, cool.
The whole idea of a true fan is a myth. There's no such thing as a true fan. If you like something, you're a fan of it. End of story.
There you go.
Nobody loves iRobot like
I'm a true fan.
I'm a true fan.
iRobot.
Van Helsing
movie.
I love
that movie, bro. I love that.
iRobot hard. With Hugh Jackman.
Van Helsing movie is like.
I love
League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
Okay, look, no.
That shit's great.
So good,
that was religious.
I love it.
Dorian Gray.
I'm about to be hated,
so
bro.
bad.
I'm about to be hated.
I thought it was Mark Twain.
So bad.
I thought it was Tom Sawyer. I was running around. I was like, boy. I was like, where Mina Harkin?
I'm gonna keep it a buck. I'm gonna keep it a buck about League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, right? Look. The best, of all, best character in that movie, Jekyll and Hyde. That is still also the best effect in that movie. That shit is magnificent. It holds up
to this day.
And secondly, that entire movie is wasted potential.
Okay.
It could have been so goddamn great. So that is my only gripe about it. A series would have been fantastic.
A league cinematic universe.
Why Sean Connery retired from acting.
Sean Connery
literally made that movie.
That too.
Yeah.
Swings and roundabouts, I guess.
Who didn't do that back in the day?
He said somebody had discipline.
He was acting. That was normal.
That's true. I mean, dude was born in like 1890.
He's old.
That's true.
Shit.
He was what?
He's like, sometimes if a woman acts up, gotta give her the old factory reset. Like, relax.
Yeah, sir. Piss, bozo.
Oh, is he dead?
That man Connery. No, he's alive.
Yeah, he died in 2020.
He's dead?
He died in 2020.
He's dead.
Fuck him.
Moving on to the next point on here, since we kind of talked about the incel anime.
Also, that's crazy. That's the craziest combination I can think of. Like incel, like weeaboos or something. That's crazy. Love making fun of them. Incels, but you put them together. Like that's the stinkiest
Hey, get on
shit
My
I can
Hero
think
Academia Reddit thread, and you're fucking.
Oh my god, that's the tangent I was about to go on, bro.
Terrifying.
It was specifically.
That's like. Honestly, it's that.
Bro,
one. It's My
me
Hero.
and Graham share the same mindset because we were thinking of the same toxic fandom. Bro, listen.
Yeah. I haven't watched the last 2 seasons of My Hero because of the fucking
Exactly,
fans.
bro. Because, like, bro, okay.
It's bad.
It's
bad.
I understand. Let me put it this way, right?
Literally a pedophile.
Rick and Morty fans are
literally
annoying.
A pedophile.
Rick and Morty fans are very annoying, right? But they do not spend the amount of time drawing fan art of 2 teenage little boys kissing.
It's crazy.
Bro,
the amount of there is crazy amounts of My Hero. Like,
are the people drawing it kids? Because if they're
no, they're grown ass adults. But like the characters themselves are kids. I'm talking like 14, 15. And I'm like, yo, stop it. Maybe. Him and EDP probably have watch parties.
Under investigation.
Allegation.
Allegedly.
That's suspicious.
As someone who who's an adult and doesn't like cartoons as entertainment.
You love Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Oh, brother.
Say that again. Say that
What's your
again.
opinion on Spider-Verse?
I'm joking.
Yeah, okay.
I'm joking.
Everyone boo this man.
Boo this man.
I'm joking.
Shame.
As someone who's
shame.
kind of like on the outside of like anime and like anime culture and stuff like that, and the anime fandom, it seems like there's an awful lot of like overlap between like, you know, like people who
the weirdos,
adults who exhibit who are fucking weirdos and creeps and exhibit really weird behaviors towards like
lollies should be a label.
And like
lollicots, bro. Fans. Oh my god!
I don't know what that is, but it sounds demented. So it needs to be put in jail.
I think that's such a fascinating thing. How that's very common within that community. I mean, it's common all over.
But
you
it's
get what I'm
very
saying.
strong.
It's
like
it's a little
very strong in anime.
It's more so like a cultural thing because anime originated over in the East, over in Japan, right? And over there in Japan, they're just like, it's entertainment. It's entertainment. Yeah. You know, it's what we. I saw Matt's eyes go, whoa, slow down. But
just trying to remind him
over
I don't know about that, Chief.
Yeah, it was. Really,
I don't know about that, Chief.
It was really. It was really just accepted as part of their like culture, you know, just ingrained. It was normal for them, right? But then as anime became more and more mainstream and it expanded over into Western audiences, we all looked at that shit and said, "Hey, what you cooking over there? Oh, is that a child?
Is that a furry?
Is that a child? What is that child doing? Oh, she's 2,000 years old, but she still looks 12. Okay, cool. Hi, police. Yeah, this right here, this nigga right here. And I'm not gonna lie."
Police is not enough. We have to take his life, bro. Police is not enough. You cannot be out here. You cannot be out here messing with children, bro.
They'll take his life. Don't worry.
Take his life.
Not if
older anime is pretty bad too because it obviously like didn't make it. Like I watched. Have you ever watched Ninja Scroll?
No.
The movie, it's like
adult,
there's a scene.
What is this?
I guess that was.
Have you guys ever watched
I've seen a little bit.
Looking ass.
Have you ever watched a bar of soap?
Goo goo gaga head ass motherfucker.
Boy say he not watch anime. Okay, what are you into? Transformers? Pokemon, you fucking child. Like
blow up.
Nah, just in the old shit. It's like there's very.
That's my favorite.
Grow the fuck up, Academia.
I'm done.
It's where you learn how to just be an adult.
Evangelion.
Hey, be an adult. Yeah, you're not fighting. Just grow.
No bitches Academia. That's crazy.
Instead of One Piece, you need to find the one bar of soap.
They need to find some deodorant, bro.
What's another one?
I'm glad I can't smell because I know if I go to one of those anime conventions, I'll pass the fuck out if I did.
Look, I love my fellow anime fans, and to my fellow YouTubers who cover anime, I commend you. But I will say, some of y'all niggas stink. I'm gonna let you know. I'm gonna let you know this right now. I shouldn't be walking around fucking Comic-Con with a clothespin on my nose every time I go to dap up Matthew Mercer, bro. I shouldn't be having this happen.
No shit.
You know how many times I've logged onto Twitter? I've logged onto Twitter and some new anime fucking account that draws some weird ass hentais getting dragged for apparently some weird creepy like shit that they've said or done or like defended. It happens like almost regularly, like every week. Like it's just like I'm just like, oh, what is this thread? Oh, some weird fucking anime Twitter.
God, yeah.
That and in the fucking Stan accounts that post the shit and they're always some homophobic or racist or they turn out to be some type of weirdo pedophile, like you said. I have beef. I don't have beef. I don't have a lot of enemies, you know what I'm saying? In this world, I try to be nice to people. I don't try to cause problems. But I do like to cause problems on purpose on the TL. And when I see them Stan accounts, when I see Stan accounts, something inside me just awakens. I'm like, I have to stop them at all costs.
And then something just snapped. Something inside me.
Yeah.
I have been as a victim of Stan
multiple times.
That's the thing, Cap. I'm always a hater.
Yeah, it happened to me once with Taylor Swift fans. Swifties attacked me once. Barely survived. I had to.
Luis was getting jumped. He was fighting for his life.
I couldn't even jump in because I know better than to fight with Swifties. You should have known better than that shit.
I had like 200 quotes. It was like 200
I turned to Optimus Prime and be like, I'll take you all on. Like, bring it.
Bro said, bring me your face.
And the other time was J-Law, a J-Law scene.
Oh my god!
Also,
was that when you tweeted about the movie where she was in Brian Tyree Henry?
8 years too late. J-Law hasn't made a good movie ever, but hasn't been big since like Hunger Games. This happened in 2022, bro. Like, what the fuck?
No. X-Men First Class. We'll let that one slide too. Wait, that was after Hunger Games. That was before after Hunger Games.
That was after 2011.
This is the worst part of that movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, and so Stan Twitter.
Luis was dying, bro.
No. We beat that second one. We got the ass nasty.
Oh yeah, I jumped into that one. I remember that one.
All that.
This is a movie with Brian Tyree Henry, right?
Yeah, Causeway.
Yeah, we were in.
All of that suffice to
whooping
say
ass.
is that they had to resort to fucking calling me gay and
being
racist stuff and homophobic stuff.
Racist and homophobic. Only because I said that I didn't think Jennifer Lawrence's performance was up to par with Brian Tyree Henry's in the movie.
Who's a phenomenal actor.
Yeah.
Exactly. And they started attacking me for that. And it was like, whoa. But a lot of that has to do with like the anonymity that, the internet and social media provides to people.
That's why I say things with my whole chest, bro.
That's why my
I'm not scared.
Is on my
I'll call you out.
What are y'all gonna do? Ain't shit to steal.
Ruin my credit worse than it already is.
I don't think it goes lower than 0, dumbass.
Gonna be the first nigga with negative credit.
They owe you.
Security as well.
Come on.
I just use my other one.
And they say like, no, y'all heard that, right?
Yeah, I'll just use another one.
Oh my god. Nah, for real, social media in general is a big problem. It's one of the main driving forces for this whole toxicity thing we've been talking about. How the fandoms and toxic pop culture, and this brings us to our
back in MySpace.
This brings us to our next. This is our big point. This is my biggest. This is probably one I'm about to go off on. Shitfluencers, bro. I'm not calling you no influencer. You're not influencing shit. Okay. You're a problematic creator. You're a terrible human being, and I like I said, I don't have enemies, but I have enemies. There's on occasion. I don't want peace. I want problems always. You know what I'm saying?
I am a terrorist.
And there are certain creators who get on social media,
name them,
and they put this facade that they're good, wholesome, happy people. I'm gonna get to that. They put on this facade that they're good, wholesome, happy people, when in reality they are terrible, shitty human beings who just cannot, like, they're not good people. They're genuinely not good people. They put on a mask. Yeah. That's how we keep it. We keep it real here at the Cinestro core. We keep it real, REAL, and we keep it real, REEL, like cinema real. If you didn't get that reference, read a book.
Poetry.
Go back to school.
Go back to tell them. So my issue with these creators, you have the ones who get such big platforms like Matthew Ramos, call himself Soups. He says, "Let's go," real loud and shit. And every time someone's like, "Bro," he's like, "That's my word." Like whenever Riri Williams said "Let's go" in the trailer for Black Panther, he's like, "She said my line. She said my line." My nigga, Black people have been saying "Let's go" for eons. I said "Let's go" when I came out the womb. What you mean that's your line? If anything, like, bro. You can't lay claim to something that's a colloquial, like that's a standard phrase of celebration amongst multiple communities. And then also he's like, it's just his facade. That's the thing that's really pissing me off. Like that he's so I'm all promoting love and promoting peace and promoting this. When behind the scenes we've seen all the exposés and shit. We've seen all this, the leaks, we've seen the real you.
Shitty, like you guys can see that. Like we ain't trying to hide that, you know. Like
I didn't say that. I said we keep it
I'm
real.
Joking. I'm joking. I'm kidding. No, I know.
We're not leaking the group.
Like how you were saying it.
Relax.
And a lot of people, what they try to do is like they're chasing fame and popularity and money and as opposed to like talking about stuff that they like because they like it and because they want to form a community and because they want to provide a safe space for like-minded people to like come and hang out and build these incredibly unhealthy parasocial relationships. You know, it's like yeah, it's you know, they're doing it for the wrong reasons and eventually you can tell, and that comes to fruition, and that never leads to anything good, right? And it's like all of that, like getting wrapped up in that, and people and those people's fears only leads to more negativity and I don't know, it's just not good vibes all around, you know.
It's not good vibes. It's terrible vibes. You know, them influencers. I'm even gonna take this another step and say that like hype monsters, people who hype shit up, they know it's not good. They hype it up that it's gonna be good. People's expectations get really high. Then when the movie's bad,
they exploit it.
Like,
they exploit
it. They backtrack and flip side.
They're like, oh, I knew it all along.
Yeah. Like, what's wrong with you? Yeah. Then my other point. This one's just kind of. This is something I keep thinking about over and over again, bro. Leakers and insiders,
love them,
and like some of them, their lack of knowledge. For example,
Grace Randolph,
and her posts about Mario. Why is he in a cat suit? It takes away his dignity. Like, please play a video game. Pick up. I'm begging you, for the love of God, pick up a Nintendo 64 right the fuck now.
Look up who
and play. Just play one game.
I think this is the same lady I'm thinking.
Play one game right now. And then, furthermore, into that topic of leakers, their petty squabbles on the TL, bro. Word to Thor, bro.
Against each other.
Word to Thor, bro. You humans are so petty and tiny. Like, why are you all fighting over who posted what? For y'all gonna get credit regardless. You know, I get wanting to be credited and everything, but
what were you saying? Has to do with like the spaces that they exist in, right? It's like part of the game is that like to be a scooper, you got to be first on the scene. You got to be the first one to release those news, or else what the fuck are you doing, right? And so like that in and of itself is incredibly toxic and brews toxicity because you're probably making shit up half the time, or you're relying on sources that aren't very reliable, or you're fucking people over to get the most latest scoop, and it's just like again, you know, it's like this inherent need to try to get ahead of everybody and to be like the best or be number one or be the first is leading to misinformation.
Get your Ash Ketchum ass on, like
and a toxic.
I want to be the very best, and no one ever was. Get out of here.
And even the people who are excited to hear those news are caught up in that kind of like whirlwind and cycle of toxicity, because that's just kind of like the nature of the game, you know, and it's so shitty to see that, because
it makes them look dumb when they're arguing with each other too, and it's
that's the one that's like when you're seeing beef on a TL from two well-known folks, it's crazy. Go ahead.
I've had this guy, I don't know how the fuck, he just keeps popping up on my TL, but it's also because I follow another guy who will like call his shit out easily. He's like a Zack Snyder, he claims that he has all these scoops for like that Zack Snyder's coming back to do more Justice League, or that Zack Snyder's coming back to DC.
Is it that SYL guy?
Yeah.
Yes, it's Sil.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck
he
yes.
also shows up on mine, dude.
Bro, he's a fucking fraud. He's a fraud. He claims he has all these fucking scoops, and every time some shit comes out that negates his scoop or contradicts what he's saying, he backtracks and is like, well, they're gonna say that they're gonna announce it, blah blah blah, or they're actually doing this, blah blah blah. No, dude, just stop. You make yourself look like a fool.
The jig is up.
The delusion is strong with this one.
You're caught. You are caught. Yeah. Yeah.
People like that.
Is rough.
Never mind.
And leakers, I'm a big leak guy. Like, I'll read a leak and I get more fucking hype for the movie. I read all the leaks for Multiverse of Madness, and y'all hate on it, but it's my favorite. Like,
that's
one of my favorite.
You also like.
It's okay to
you also like Multiverse of
Madness. Don't be saying that shit out loud, Graham. Don't be saying that shit.
That's what I was talking about. That's what
when,
I'm talking
when
about.
When the Mandem leaked. No, he said Multiverse. No, I was saying when the Mandem leaked the whole Quantumania script, I was like, holy shit, here we go. The snipers are on the way. K-Feezy, see, One thing about me and KFeezy, like that, I know what he about to do.
That
He got the snipers on deck.
He's in the raft.
No,
they're blacklisted.
Leaks are still
the
gonna
gulag.
happen, but the guy who started there was a whole Reddit thread and like it's taken down now. The leaks and shit are about to like
for now.
I mean, they're still gonna happen. Like you've got people on Twitter, the legit scoopers, Daniel Rickman. Can we get some toes? Charles Murphy and all that.
Yeah,
like
the
KC.
They're gonna keep.
I swear
doing
though,
thing. Casey Walls.
That Quantumania one was probably the most detrimental leaking I've ever seen. Like I didn't.
It's the most brazen,
yes, exactly.
That was
brazen and just bold face, balls to the wall. I'm posting this
that
shit.
was just
well, what's funny is that it happened with Love and Thunder, and they didn't really do anything like consequential
because no one cared.
That because no one cared, and then they realized that Quantumania fucking sucks as a flop. And they're like, "Holy shit!" Well, now let's jump on this.
It's Peyton Reed's magnum opus. Show some respect.
Shut the fuck up! Don't ever say that name in my face ever again. You hear me, Matthew?
Peyton Reed.
Peyton Reed.
Peyton Reed.
Talking about the
Peyton Reed. Come on the podcast.
He's about to go. He's about to go to bed.
Look out.
The director of the second.
No, that was so good. That was so good.
I dead ass thought he was about to just click off.
Ramos.
Everybody.
Ramos.
Everybody tweet. Everybody go tweet our page. Hashtag Peyton Reed right now.
Drama school or whatever, you know. But
I said not to. He said.
That's so funny. The Den of Nerds guy, who's also pretty toxic, he says, I went to film school.
These are your peers, Luis.
Shut the fuck up.
I'll be like, good for you, bro. I took AP in high school. Like, okay. Whoopee.
Guess what, motherfucker? I was in Les Mis. We have a podcast. So you want a cookie? I got cookies, bro. I can go to Walmart right now and get you a box of them shits. Like, what's up?
Yeah, Denim Nerd is like, I went to film school. That's why I'm a big.
He said, I'm allowed to be homophobic.
Yeah,
I went to
exactly.
film
That
school.
makes no sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bro was beefing with James Gunn. James Gunn ethered him. I was like, I would never let that happen. Me personally, I would not let that happen to me. I would not get myself killed on the TL by a studio exec. Not just a director anymore. It's a studio exec, bro.
That
like,
was embarrassing.
evaluate your life. Imagine if like I pissed off Kevin
like
Feige. It would never happen.
To make good content back in the day.
That's the thing. These guys, like I said earlier, these guys are just becoming caricatures of who they used to be. They're becoming more.
They get in their head with this platform that they finally, start to develop.
Absolute power.
You develop a platform with making good shit, and then
Luis
once you get on your
cooking.
high horse.
Boy said that. He said the line from Batman vs Superman. Holy shit.
You either die here.
Realize.
That's what that's shut up. Oh my god. Boy said.
Stay woke, sheeple.
Sheeple.
Do not open that door.
Kevin Feige's coming for Matt right now.
Oh shit.
Matt,
Feige's at the door. Feige sent the
pop
No,
some
me
holes
and
in
Kevin
that
are
damn
cool
door right now. Preemptive strike.
You and KFeezy.
All you see is like a big burly white dude with a mask with a Black Widow baseball cap. Start minking his shit.
He said mink.
Yeah. Not the Black Widow. It says Marvel. It says Marvel hat that Luis wears. And that Feige. Oh, yeah, it's just a red logo.
Nah, see, me and Kevin are cool. That's my dog. You know what I'm saying? He be funding my adventures, my foray into the world.
Yeah. Hey, Matt,
but that's just
that red dot getting closer on your forehead. What is that?
Boy, it better not be Deathstroke. Goddamn.
You're not a child. You're
It's a
safe.
predator.
Oh, got him.
Oh,
God.
We read the original Judas contract. We didn't forget DC. We remember. He tried to fuck a 14-year-old girl. We remember.
He was running game.
he did.
He raised the child.
That's crazy.
They called it.
They was like, hey. Gerardo was like, yo,
they considered
Hey,
changing his name, right?
it's-
They were gonna make him the Rizzler.
It's not just Slade Wilson. It's Slade.
Boo yourself, man.
Bro,
Fuck you.
certified
This shit was
Rizzler.
The
good.
Rizzler. The Rizzler. That's crazy.
Slade.
I think the overall message that we have for this particular bonus episode. Just don't lean in. Don't be toxic.
Be inclusive.
It's simply that's all it is.
Don't be toxic. Take care.
Don't
of
be
yourself.
a piece of shit.
Don't be.
It is not.
Don't
It
be
is.
an
It costs.
asshole.
It costs. It costs $0 to be a good human being.
Sometimes.
Absolutely no money. No money down. $0. No payment plan. None of that shit. You can be a decent. You can like something. You can critique something. You can be a decent person while doing
You
it.
can hate something. You don't have to be a fucking asshole about it.
Right.
Yeah.
Facts. Exactly.
So, moral of the story. Today's little Kodak moment. Be a good person. Treat people with respect. Be able to agree to disagree, or if you want to have a constructive argument or disagreement, have that disagreement without resulting to insults.
And homophobia.
You know, ultimately, I know we were trying to, I know we were cutting up in this episode and, being our usual selves or a little bit more than our usual selves. But our whole goal with this is that we're trying to tell y'all to, spread some positivity in these spaces that you're in. Because comics, CBMs, comic book movies, TV shows, you name it, whatever it is, that's what it's about. It's about positivity, about having a space to be free, be yourself, and not feel invalidated or attacked for liking something or being something or what have you. So make sure you're, being more inclusive, being well aware of your mental health too. Mental health is very important. Whatever goes on up here, very important. And be aware of what you're saying and doing on these spaces on social media and how that affects other people's mental health. I'm not saying you gotta, walk on eggshells, but you cannot be, brazenly being an asshole or what was it saying? Being a dick from
Don't be 100% of a dick.
Ant-Man. No, from don't be 100% of a dick. Don't be a dick like in like whatever Star-Lord said in Guardians.
I was finna say
all that stuff, man.
But I think that might get us demonetized, so I can't say
it. Yeah, don't
leave that for the director's cut. Leave that for the director's cut.
Just treat people.
All you need to know.
Treat people with kindness and with respect and with grace, and it's all about leading with empathy. Just be
empathy.
We got an empath.
100%.
And other people's plights. And just try to be as understanding and welcoming, and it's about treating others the way you want to be treated. Right? Doesn't matter cultural, sexual, religious background, your gender identity, none of that matters. We should all be able to come together and talk about things that we love and that we enjoy, or things that we hate and dislike, and have fun discourse and discussion and conversations about these things without having anybody feel left out or attacked or bullied or I must have missed something, or feel like they don't belong in these spaces, in these situations. So just lead with kindness and respect and empathy.
Absolutely. Yeah, facts.
Couldn't have said it.
I could have said it better, but I won't. I don't want to rain on this parade.
I could have said it better, but I won't.
He got the Spark Notes version,
Hey,
I got the gist of it.
What did Stan Lee say? Enough said. Well, that's a wrap for today's episode, you guys. We appreciate you guys watching or listening to our show. Be sure to follow us on all platforms at Cinestro Core to stay tuned to everything coming up this year. Hulk smash the MF like button. Hulk smash it. And show us how much you enjoyed this episode by leaving a 5-star review wherever you listen to this podcast. Send our podcast and YouTube channel to friends, family, coworkers. Post in your group chats everywhere. Most importantly, remember to spread positivity wherever you go and whenever you can. Thank you guys so much, and we'll see you next time on the Cinestro Core.